There's been a warning today about the state of Somerset County Council's finances from its own chief executive. He's told a meeting of councillors that overspending and reduced reserves pose a real risk. It follows years of cuts in government funding and reductions in services. And with us now is our political editor, Paul Baltrop. Paul, this is the chief executive actually saying this. How serious is it?
It's a pretty grave situation. This was delivered at a full meeting of county councillors today, and it was the chief executive, Pat Flaherty, who delivered the prognosis. Let's have a look at exactly what he's been saying, that they are starting to struggle to deliver savings targets, that there is a significant overspend, limited financial resilience and a considerable risk to the council. Now, that warning was actually emailed to staff at their desks at the end of last week. They've faced years, of course, of cuts to services, so unions are dismayed by that. So too are various campaign groups. There was a group who'd come along today. They're worried about some of the changes coming through in support for disabled children and concerned about what may lie ahead.
We've lost children's centres, we're losing libraries, we've lost our adult education centre, our public transport is dreadful, our general infrastructure is appalling. It's no wonder that we have such low social mobility, and we need to be looking at these issues as a whole. We're just storing up massive problems for the future.
We've lived with low morale and uncertainty for a long time. And reading the email on Friday was really the final nail in the coffin.
Well, Paul, all of our councils are complaining about a lack of money, aren't they? So what's different here? And does Somerset have any options?
Well, it's interesting because Somerset is a Conservative-run council and it's a Conservative-run government that has been cutting their funding. It's been going down for a decade, and they've made some fairly stark criticisms. Some councillors today were making comparisons with another county council elsewhere in England, which a few months back declared itself technically insolvent. Now, the leader today was insisting that Somerset will not go bust, but he says they have got to prioritise crucial things like looking after the elderly, the disabled and the young.
We've got a lot of older people in the county getting older. We've got learning disability where people are getting older with more complex needs. And we've got children's services. There are three very big service demands upon us, and we cannot control the number of people walking through our door demanding those services. We have to respond. We have a statutory duty to respond, and we care for vulnerable people.
Does that mean other areas will face bigger cuts?
Essentially, we have to find the savings from somewhere. Yes, that is the balance.
Well, he came on our programme, didn't he? You interviewed him a couple of months ago, and he wants to save money by reorganising the county and district councils. Yeah,
and of course that has proved controversial and won't be easy. So he thinks if you set up one super council for all of Somerset, merging them all together, you could save an awful lot of money. But even if it went ahead, it would take at least 3 years. That's a big if, because the district councils have already suggested they're not going to just vote themselves out of existence overnight. So for now, it looks as though the cuts are just going to have to continue.
OK, Paul, thank you very much for that. Thank you.